speaking to the camera a little bit when I say this. You are the first black CEO of Baylor, Scott, and White. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. So, and like I said, CEO, we refer to him as president. So
Okay,
yeah, no,
okay.
and that's fine. No. And I mean, we only do it because as Baylor, Scott, and White, we are the largest health system in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a CEO of the company, and then we have all our hospitals. But I in 21, when I became the president in Waco,
Mm-hmm.
the one that's on I-35, I became the first president of black president Baylor, Scott, and White. When I came here to Fort Worth as the regional president, I became the first ever president here at All Saints, but also the first ever regional president within Baylor, Scott, and White. And it's an honor. But what matters most to me is not being the first. I want to ensure that I serve in a way and I lead in a way and I do what the Lord asked me to do, and I produce in a way that I can hopefully say I'm not the last.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I'm not the last. I want some other young man or young lady to have an opportunity to sit at that same desk or sit in that same office or to walk in the same shoes so that they can, guess what, do so much more than me. Because I'm not fooled. I know I'm not the smartest nor the hardest working African American man or woman to ever walk the halls of that hospital. It's just that the Lord saw fit to bless me with that opportunity. And it's my responsibility to serve appropriately.
Yes, sir. So you have amassed a level of success that a lot of people want. What's next for you?
You know, honestly, I don't know. Get up every day. You know, I get up every morning and I listen to my daily promise, which is typically a scripture and just a lesson about walking in faith, because with success comes stress,
Mm-hmm.
and with access also comes life's demons.
Right.
So, you know, one of my constant prayers is, Lord, guide me. You know, keep me humble in a way to know that I am not leading for me, but I'm leading in your name. Allow me to serve. You know, as I've shared, volunteers choose what they do. Servants go where they're needed and they do what's needed. So whatever's put before me is what I want to do. I want to ensure that we are providing the best patient care. But at the same time, on the various boards that I serve on, I want to ensure that whoever that customer is, that they are getting what they need. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, if I'm mentoring someone, I want to make sure that I'm paying it forward to the next generation. If I'm serving in my church, I'm giving, because anything the Lord gives me, that, you know, the Lord allows me to keep 90%. So it ain't about me giving the Lord 10, it's just him allowing me to keep 90. Yes, and sir. Then when I have extra, I need to remember that my extra or my plentiful is somebody's necessity. So I need to be trying to give and not just keep everything. So, you know, I don't know how much longer I'll work. I hope to work as long as I can. Even when I stop working formally, I do want to serve on boards. I want to be at community centers. I want to be giving. But to stop serving, I don't see that. I don't see that ever. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you served on the board as a regent for Baylor University. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain to the people what a regent is, and you know what you do exactly as a regent.
Yeah. So, you know, the board of regents is basically like the board of directors. Every company, you know, the CEO at the end of the day, there's a group of individuals they report to. That group of board of directors, their main job is governance, ensuring that the organization is carrying out the mission. You know, its policies, its procedures, it's doing the thing that it should be doing. So for a university like Baylor University, it is there to educate. And what I love about Baylor University, because I believe the world needs a Baylor University, and I did not attend, is not only to educate, but to educate young men and women in a Christian environment, to allow them to grow in their vertical faith as well as their horizontal faith, and provide an academic atmosphere where they can grow intellectually and professionally and go out and be productive citizens. So for me, that Board of Regents, we are the governing body for all of Baylor University, those bears, and our one employee is the president of the school. And I say that because what many people confuse when they get on a board, they think it's their job to call folks and tell them, no. That's the president's job. The president runs the operations. The board is for governance and guidance, not for telling the president how to do their job every day or telling the vice presidents how to do their job. And I see it as an honor and a privilege because I'm not a Baylor alum, but to be a part of God's work is just, it's huge for me. It is, you know, it's a lot of work because education is its own industry, from NCAA athletics to business schools to nursing schools to academic performance to student life, but it's service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, we were talking earlier about your childhood. You know, we want you to share what the president of Baylor All Saints childhood was like growing up in Stop 6.
Well, you know, a couple of things. So let me say this. I was probably, and I don't want to compare, but for my sake, I'm just going to say it. I think I was blessed with two of the best parents in the world. But one of the things I realized is there were not a lot of young folks like me with two parents. My dad was awesome, and my dad still is awesome. My dad taught me a work ethic. But one of the realities of just, you know, especially the time we grew up, there was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of gang violence. I don't know if I have enough fingers to count how many of the folks we grew up with either died or went to jail. It was tough. You know, I've had the situation where I pulled over for no reason and treated badly. Or you've had different teachers who had absolutely no faith that you could be more than what they thought you could be. Economically, we didn't always have the money to have new clothes. But what we had was, we had God. And I know I keep saying it, but I say it because when I left home to go to college on August 9th of 1991, my mother wrote me a letter letting me know how proud they were of me, remembering the Lord, remembering the things they had taught me. And she said, as you begin to climb the ladder, know that God has so much for you. And I kept the letter. And 3 years later, I still had the letter. But the paper started turning colors. And so I laminated the letter. And I read that letter almost every year, 2 or 3 times a year. But I didn't tell my mother I even had the letter, showed it to her until 2021. And she was shocked. And I said, Mama, it's what got me through, because to your point, growing up in Stop 6, you didn't always see opportunity.